Good evening. Welcome to K Cubed. I'm Ken.
I'm Kevlon. How y'all doing today?
Oh shit.
Yeah. Welcome to the Gump, everybody.
Hello. Welcome to K Cubed. I'm Ken.
Kevlon sitting here chilling
Did it
with
just
y'all.
start over?
No, I didn't start over.
Oh, hold on, wait.
I paused and hit
Oh,
unpause.
really? I
Yeah.
didn't know you could do that. So check this out, y'all. We coming to you live tonight just to give you a little brief synopsis of what's going on in the real world. All right. So everybody maggot, Afro maggot, Ultra maggot,
Vilo maggot.
super maggots. All right. So they all are giving this complete narrative that the country, the United States, is in complete, utter financial shambles.
They kind of did the same thing when Barack Obama was leaving office. Remember how they were complaining so viciously about how bad the economy was, and it was all because of Barack Obama.
Right. So because of that, they had to get in there immediately and cut taxes for
They
rich
had to
people.
fix it.
They had to fix it by cutting taxes for the rich people.
Although it was the longest sustained period of job growth that we have ever had in the United States of America's history. But it was still bad. It was horrible. They had to get rid of him and put a Republican back in there. Because you remember how good it went with the last Republican before Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Remember
Oh
how
yeah. Oh Bush.
Bush.
Bush Jr.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
with the tank, the economic meltdown that almost took the world's economy down. It had everybody just struggling, and Barack Obama had to come in and pull everybody out of the ditch.
Yeah.
Which the Democrats did, and they said, "Give us the keys back." And Benedict Donald showed up on the scene and brought all of his platitudes and lies with him, and a good group of people fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Unfortunately, but we suffered the consequences because he don't know how to govern. And when we had actual catastrophe, we tanked again.
Yeah. Big time. So then after all of that, our good buddy, Dark Brandon, I like to call him. That's my favorite name
The
for
man behind the shades.
behind the shades. Dark Brandon. He throw them shades on, and Lord have mercy, he'll take you behind the woodshed and
give you the old once over.
Yeah, beat you like a drum. That's my boy. So, Dark Brandon there, they're trying to say that Dark Brandon has the worst economy ever, and this and that and third. And we're like, no. I mean, apparently people are not paying attention to their pocketbooks.
Or to
It's
the
called
numbers.
the 5 P's. People ain't paying attention to their pocketbooks.
That's 3 P's and a B and a
five P's. Yeah, like 5 P's in a pod. That's what I'm talking about. So Dark Brandon is supposedly the worst ever because the economy is the worst ever. Our country is in utter ruin. But the truth of the matter is the money was not flowing under Trumpster, like everybody would like you to think. Now,
it flowed. It just flowed straight to the top.
Right. Or no, you know what I hear it from, Kev? Believe it or not, the PPE crowd is a crowd of folks that illicitly, they may not have owned a business or they may have like started a lawn care service at the time or something. You know what I'm saying? Some people took advantage and some people ultimately were legit. But there were a lot of people that were not legit that was just like, yeah, I got a hair salon and I got 17,000 employees and blah, 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 blah. And they got big fat checks. I know a couple of buddies, no, a couple of arch nemesis of mine have gone to jail because they got PPE loans that were not deserved at the time, but it was like completely obvious. Uh, I'll send y'all. I may even put a link to the video on this one. That'll be my first link to the video. Yeah, when Hot Topic took on T-Mobile. Yeah, she got one of the PPE loans, and I assume she didn't make it so good. But either way, life was good during the Trump years for the people that got the PPE loans that didn't quite deserve them, or maybe they did. But either way, they survived as a business and thrived afterwards. Now we got Joe Biden in the office, and they're saying, like, now it's in shambles. But that is an utter lie. We got numbers. We got proof. Kev, talk about it before I get mad and can't say nothing else.
Well, the first thing I say is Joe Biden, admittedly, was not my favorite candidate in 2020. I liked first Elizabeth Warren, and then I also preferred a couple of other candidates. I just won't name them, no use in naming them. But I'm the type of person during the primary, I fall in love. I pick the one candidate that I love the most, and that's who I vote for. But during the general election, I fall in line. So it's fall in love, then fall in line. When I say fall in line, I don't mean necessarily just go hook, line, and sinker and just pick the Democrats every time. But what I do mean is if you have a difference between a sensible party and a party that's literally coming after freedoms, literally lying through their teeth every chance they get, literally sending all of the money up to the top, literally just doing the bidding of big corporations and special interests, literally trying to take healthcare away from over 27 million people. You have a party that's doing that type of stuff, and not to mention they drug us into some stupid, senseless wars, that same party, and they just keep getting worse and worse and worse. When you have that measured up against the Democrats, yeah, it's about time to fall in line. We're going to take a look at a few different metrics here so we can kind of get a bird's eye view of what is exactly going on. So we're going to start with the inflation elephant in the room. Of course, this has been a troublesome thing for everybody for a very long time, for months and months and months here in this country. And we don't sit here and act like inflation doesn't exist because we don't lie. We just go with what the facts are and we live with the truth that they present. I'm going to show you this chart here. So as you can see, now this represents inflation and what happened in the G7 countries over the past few years. Notice that the spike came along in 2021. And everybody liked to jump on the I hate Joe Biden bandwagon because things got so expensive. But if you notice, things got expensive for everybody. You cannot escape it when the supply chain of the world slows down to the point where it costs so much money to get a good because that good is in short demand. It's called supply and demand. It's very basic. Whenever you have the world's economy recovering from COVID all at the same time, and the supply chains have been interrupted due to the disruption that the disease caused, everything has to get back up to running, back up to speed before people's prices start going down and things even out. This is just logical. So as you can see, it happened in every single country. But this light green one here,
the United States took off righteously above everybody else. See that right there? Boom.
The prices went up like crazy.
And then all of a sudden, we hit right here.
Now, right about here is when the Inflation Reduction Act was passed. It was as we were going up towards the end of towards the end of 2021. That's when that bill was passed. It was somewhere around there, not exactly sure which month. But
yeah, and then all of a sudden, we shot down the water slide, and our inflation is here now. You see that where I'm wiggling the mouse? That's the mouse wiggle. So we got right there. All of the rest of the G7, they're way up here. None of them have recovered like the United States.
This does not happen by mistake. This was Joe Biden's policies that put us on a pathway to the lowest inflation of all of the G7 countries. Case closed. That speaks for itself. That's the little dirty secret that the Republicans don't want you to know or pay attention to. They want you to think that we're still the worst and we're the only country in the world that still has just horrible, ridiculous inflation, and it's all Joe Biden's fault. Nothing could be further from the truth. That chart displays it. Moving on.
Yeah, what's the next chart mean?
Next one we're going to is GDP. This is gross domestic product. This is the value.
You want jobs, gross domestic product?
Let's go. Let's just go with gross domestic product. Okay. Gross domestic product is the basically the value of all goods and services that are produced here in the United States. Now, obviously, you see the big dip while Trump was in office in 2020 Q2. Right when COVID hit, everything bottomed out.
Wow, that was when it was like, we need everybody to go home. It was like the most low energy speech he had ever given up to that point.
Yeah,
He's
that's a
had
Trump
several
lockdown.
since, but he was like, "Yeah, we gotta shut it down, and we can't even go on." Martha, do you have anything to add? And she was like, "Mm-mm." "Yeah, y'all remember."
Yeah. So, but yeah, and here's the bounce back. Of course, once the economy opened back up some, once he found out that, let's just face it, COVID was killing more black people than any other race. They opened up the economy and everything started kind of jumping again a little bit. So this big increase here, this is a basically a percentage increase. So it's not that it was just incredibly fabulous. It's just that it was so bad in Q2 that once things got a little bit more stable, there was a huge jump up. So that don't get that twisted, because as you can see, he was decreasing in GDP from Q3 and Q4 of 2019. It was going downward already.
Yeah,
Q1
yeah,
of
that was all of
2020,
that was before COVID.
this was before COVID. You can see when
COVID
COVID
hit.
happened.
Wow, that's COVID. And then this is when they reopened the economy like a month later after boom. So businesses started recovering the economy. So it's not like a whole lot better. Was that 1, 2, 3? And this is 1, 2, 3. So it went up that much more than it had fallen before. Just
Yeah.
that last little chunk.
And of course, that's because people were so eager to start purchasing and buying because things were on lockdown. So quite naturally, once you come out of lockdown, you're going to have a little bit of a bump. The key thing that we want to mention here is under Biden, just like with all other Democrats, if you look at Obama's numbers, it's pretty much going to show you the same thing. Consistent GDP growth every single month except for two.
Yeah, that was Q1 and Q2.
2022.
Yeah, that was right around when they were talking about the economy was going to crash and recession, and I do believe that would have been
That
right
was the
around
height of
time.
inflation as well.
Height of inflation, and also the Republicans were threatening a shutdown of the government right around that time, but somehow we managed to fight through and made it safely through that crap.
So as you can see, consistent growth,
Pretty consistent growth.
3%. And as you what we want to point out as well, right now, inflation is right around that 3% mark. Remember that. We're going to circle back to that 3% on another chart. So we can move on.
All righty. Swing low. All right, so now we're gonna go over to the wages or the jobs. Let's go to jobs. Yeah, we gotta hit the jobs first because that would be most logical. So, as far as jobs are concerned, flat out, we got
Since now this is since 2022. 2021 is not included in here, but it's a lot. It would be a lot of blue on that other left side as well.
yeah, no doubt.
But I don't know what else you can say about this except for hoorah.
Yeah, Joe Biden has gone ham as far as creating jobs. The job creation is, I mean,
Second to none
second to
with
none.
any administration.
Right. There's
Beyond the recovery from COVID, by the way.
Now, Joe Biden gave a speech the other day where he mentioned that there have only been 2 presidents in American history who have literally lost jobs. When they left office, it was less jobs than when they took office. And that was President Hoover and President
Benedict Donald.
No, he said Donald Hoover Trump.
I call him Benedict. I think
Benedict Donald Hoover Trump.
There you go.
Bam. Yeah. So, but either way, this last month, oh man, the last month, September, when they came in with over 300,000 jobs, when they were only predicting like 170 something thousand, well, it like doubled that, and boom, and the Republicans on all of the networks across the Republican sphere, Fox and OWN and all of them, they still tried to say like, well, that's a bad thing because we got so many jobs that now they're gonna raise the interest rates and you're gonna have to pay more on your credit cards. And usually it's a knee-jerk reaction. They were like, basically, they were trying to turn it like that's a bad thing that so many people have jobs. Well, when a lot of people have jobs and a lot of people are getting money, that can typically equate to higher inflation because
The economy's on fire.
yeah, supply and
Supply and
demand.
demand. They have
Yeah.
money to spend.
If you got money to spend, people are going to buy, and the more people are buying, they're going to create a demand, which creates a demand, which makes the prices increase a little bit. But get this, people have money to afford it, whereas the month before it was 300 and some thousand people that didn't even have a job.
Oh, but Ken, what about the fact that these are all low-paying jobs? How these jobs? This means that one person gets 6 jobs at a time, and they paying so low. That's why it's so many jobs. So the pay rate must not be going up.
No, well, let's look at the wages. Okay, so since you mentioned that, let me swing back.
See, we hear all of these fantasies from our right wing buddies and our uh, what do they call it, Afro maggots. We hear it all the time,
Yeah.
and so we just want to look it up and just show it and just put it out here one time so that we can refer people to a video instead of having to go point by point with them for the future. So y'all are pretty much our guinea pigs for this experiment. But what this chart is showing is the amount of
Wages.
dollars per hour average in the United States of America from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. So these are official numbers. If you ain't getting these official numbers, you ain't getting no real numbers now.
Right.
So notice that this thing is going in one direction. Upward.
Sky high.
Upward.
Sky high.
Because so many people are getting jobs, businesses are now flourishing. As businesses flourish, they need more workers. Therefore, they're going to pay more money to get the amount of workers that they have on deck. Therefore, wages will increase. This is called building the economy from the bottom and the middle up instead of from the top down, like the Republicans do. The Republicans like to do trickle down economics. They started back with Reagan and they ain't stopped ever since. Give the rich people tax cuts and it'll all trickle down. You'll get a little trickle on your head every now and then. That never worked. It never will work. Why? Because rich people, you give them more money, they're not going to go out and buy 700 pairs of jeans and 800 pairs of shoes. As a matter of fact, they value holding on to their money a little bit.
They might not buy nothing.
They're going to buy themselves a luxury item like a Lear jet, but that's not helping the economy any.
Yeah. Helps one little jet company sell one jet. Yeah. But if you give 1,000 people in the hood that stay right around a Walmart a bunch of money, chances are at some point, maybe about 300 of them gonna go in there and buy some jeans. You're gonna sell plenty of food. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like you give the middle class, the lower class, the bottom, what do you call it? The middle out and the bottom up. Yeah. You give them the money, it's gonna make the economy bounce.
Because they spend the vast majority of what they get. And that goes into businesses, then it translates into wages. And people need more workers because their business is better. So they're going to hire people. And as they're looking around, in order to compete and pull that good talent in, they're going to have to pay them more. That's just the way it works. This is called, affectionately, Bidenomics. And as you can see, we are hitting on all cylinders. Question is, where do we go from here? Well, it all depends.
All depends on how you vote coming up in 2024.
Yeah, you can't vote for people who are going to look at this picture and say too much is going to those people at the bottom. We need to give another tax cut for the people that are at the top.
Yeah.
And slow this puppy down a little bit,
Yeah, because if they make more money, they're going to make inflation go up, and they're also going to make interest rates go up. Hike. Yeah.
They know not of what they speak. Pretty much anything that the Republicans have said, as far as the economy goes, any of their predictions, any of their theories, they all turn out to be a bunch of you know what.
Cockamamie.
Cocker crap.
Nah. So, welcome to K Cube.
Vote according to your own pocketbook.
Like, subscribe,
Know what's going on in the world. Orient yourself so that you can make good choices.
click something. The algorithm is gonna love you just like it loves us.
If you disagree with these charts or with these numbers, first of all, it don't make no sense. But if you do, please comment. Please comment on the YouTube post.
Yeah, put your own little charts on there to show us.
slap some up there.
Put some
Tell us where
Gateway
we're wrong.
Pundit charts on there or something.
Good
They're gonna
old
love us. They're gonna-
old news. What is
Yeah.
it?
Newsmax.
Newsmax.
And OWN. Put some OWN charts on there, man.
Go where the insurrection is live. Find a chart.
Yeah, put a Fox News chart of how much money they had to pay in lies.
How much it costs to build a gallows.
Yeah. Y'all have a good evening.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace.